Hello everyone, this is Sarui. Let's go on an adventure. We are playing Demo 3 of Titanic Honor and Glory. This is a game that's just a little demo version of a game that is set to be a fully explorable sort of museum on the inside of Titanic before her tragedy. And being a Titanic fan, it's just a fun little walk around in just one section of the boat, but it's still pretty interesting to see what they're working on and all the details and stuff. So I'm just going to skip the little event, the little story line, and just skip to the ship for you guys, because it's sort of a small tour, and I just want to show you guys what it's all Okay, there we go. I may not be playing it at full settings on my computer, but it still looks great even if I can't do that. So, I just boarded the boat, not on the official boarding place over there, but into the first class boarding passage in, what is it? B deck, I want to say?
Most first-class spaces should be accessible at the moment, but I may be able to venture down to third class for a spell through Scotland Road on E deck. I believe I'm boarding before anyone else. Robin, right now you're the most handsome man on the Titanic.
Yeah, the demo of the game has a cute little plot in which you're a ship's inspector named Robin, just kind of sneaking aboard before anyone else, really, and you're just having a look inside the spaces around the aft grand staircase. So, oops, touch that panel yet. Okay, without further ado, let's walk around. You can toggle the info boxes that give you little tidbits and facts about the ship. You guys can pause to read these if you want. I won't be reading them. And let's see, you can toggle black and white mode, which, it's still gorgeous. Makes you feel like you've wandered back into 1912. Or 1912, excuse me. I'm getting the day mixed with the year in my head. I'm just so excited to show you guys this. Okay. So, let's go with the fully colored version and get going. It's gorgeous to see the details of this ship. They've got it down to a T. They've been working, you can tell they've worked really hard to try and make an honest to goodness real model of these beautiful spaces. No, this isn't B deck. It says the elevators are stopped at B deck. D deck. Right. So, this is the first class foyer in which everyone coming into first class was welcomed. D deck reception. The dining saloon. I think this is the dining saloon. Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. French tapestry. Let me turn that off for a second so you guys can see that. See what I mean about the detail? That's the start of the staircase on D deck, but let's see. Where do I want to go? I want to explore this place from... Let's go from top to bottom, I think. So I'm going to go all the way up as far as I can up here. I can go real fast if I want, but this is just like a nice, elegant stroll up to C deck. And going up the aft grand staircase. That's the purser's office. The clock, which is lovely. I don't know who that portrait is, but B deck. The elevators. They're stopped right here.
The lifts are out of order. That's fine. Real men don't take lifts. Lifts are for women, Claire says. Robin, take the long way up.
I decided to keep Robin's voice on because his commentary is just amusing. I love that they had like seats in the elevators, like benches. I have never seen that before in an elevator. That's fancy right there. That's classy. That's lovely. Let's see. What's that say? Oh, the cabins. Those lead to some cabins. A few things are open for you to explore, but not everything. It goes out into the promenade, I want to say. Look at that. You can nearly go out in there, but not yet. A lot of places in this demo are still closed off. Alright, let's go all the way up. A deck. Boat deck.
I shouldn't venture too far on deck. The Board of Trade members may board soon, and I'm expected to meet them.
Okay. You can't venture too far on A deck. You can only look and see things. But just look at this stunning detail and the lighting, the gentle glow on the tiles, seats, the lights, the little chandelier lights, which some of these can still be seen in pictures in the wreck on the bottom. It's just really sobering to compare the two pictures. I wonder if I can go up on this side. I don't think I can. Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, hang on. Contribute to our efforts. Oh no, I can't. Okay. Also, I want to keep the info boxes up in case you guys want to read stuff. Pause and read that, but yeah, okay. Now there's these set of stairs, and I think I'm gonna go through the people boarded from B deck at Southampton before the ship set sail for New York. I don't think there's anywhere in here to get into. There's just more cabins. You can go through some of the cabin hallways and check out some notable people that were in them at the time.
Cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins upon cabins.
Yeah, there were a ton of rooms. Of course, the ship could house more than 3,000 passengers, I want to say. And there were 2,200 passengers on board at the time. Just amazing the detail that went into this game. They even rehearsed who had what rooms. I don't know if you can... I don't know if they'll tell everybody's rooms, but this is just a smattering of what they're probably going to show, and you can see practically everything. You can see in like a couple of the rooms to see what it was like. You can't open the doors or anything. The Countess of Roths. But there is a lot to explore here. There's passageways to the other side of the... Is there an info thing here? No. There's a passageway to the other side of the hall. Look at this. Other side of the staircase. Love it. What's this? B-deck cabins amidships. And they have pictures of the crew dotted around as Easter eggs, which is cute. the crew that is not of the ship, but of the game. The game crew. God.
Love the wood detailing here. It's absolutely perplexing. Now that's a craft I can really respect. Lovely wood. I've always been fond of wood. When younger, I used to cut wood for the poor folks 2 streets over. My neighbors started calling me Robin Wood. They always laughed, but I don't know why. I wore that title proudly.
I suppose you didn't find your calling in ships, but at least you can admire the work here. I don't imagine any luxury liners today hold a candle to what the White Star Line did before, or tried to do. Yeah, this is the difference between the aft grand staircase and the forward grand staircase. The picture of honor and glory, crowning time, is not surrounding this clock. It's just a beautiful little mantelpiece. Or a setting, I suppose. This is Francis Brown's cabin up here, and you can look around. Francis Brown was responsible for many of the actual photographs of the Titanic. That's one of his cameras. This is his cabin. Can you imagine? God. And he was lucky enough to avoid the disaster itself. He disembarked in Queenstown. But look at that. Huh. There's these bottles of, like, gin or something. Whiskey. Just smattered around the place, too. That you can find. Lots of little Easter eggs. You can't gather anything yet. You can't interact with anything. I'll have to turn the water on. But you can't. So I think Robin's a vampire. Anyway. Let's see. Francis Brown. You can walk around here. This part of A deck. God. To the A deck promenade. And the smoke room. The men's only place.
What a fine accommodation for the unwinding of the gentlemanly sort after a long day at sea. If only it were open now, and there were men in there to socialize with. Perhaps then I'd make some friends.
I wonder why it's so dark in there. Were those smoke rooms kept dank and dark for some reason? Was it a more relaxing atmosphere? I don't know. It's interesting to have this quick little look into history. Ooh! The shipbuilder's room. Mr. Thomas Andrews. Let me see this.
I see Tommy Andrews is already on board. Why does this surprise me? His drawings are scattered about like toys in a nursery. Well, I shouldn't intrude here any longer.
Well, he drank his whiskey. Let's see. It would be interesting if you actually met Mr. Thomas Andrews as you were exploring, but you don't really see any other live people here, aside from one Easter egg in the purser's office. Another picture, and one dude you can just barely make out in already using the Turkish bath downstairs. Look at that. I think that's the front end of the ship, the bow, the forecastle deck right there. Yes, I'm going to use the correct way of saying it, the more traditional way of saying it, I suppose. It's not forecastle, it's forecastle. Granddaughter of a Navy man, it just feels right to pronounce it that way. When it comes to ships, you can go down here. Look at those, look, the deck chairs. Those deck chairs, ugh. The design that they used for those deck chairs in James Cameron's Titanic, and also, I think, the 1958 movie, A Night to Remember. They got the design of the deck chairs down even. Oh my goodness. The pantry.
I suppose this won't be open anytime soon. A shame. I would enjoy nothing more than a cup of tea and to sit with a book in the lounge and, well, lounge.
I would too, sir. Just look at that dome. That iconic dome. Those of which probably collapsed during the floodings. It's hard to look at this and imagine the chaos ensuing of the sinkings. It's I've always been interested in the Titanic, but I've only recently been appreciating the history of it more and been letting in the history and the impact of the tragedy, which makes you just want to stop and just look at this all the more. Anyway, just so I don't confuse myself, because they even made this section, as small of the section that you get to explore is, it is still a labyrinth of sorts. So I'm going to sort of... Ha! There's Mr. Guggenheim's room. The man who famously said, "We are dressed in our best and we'll go down like gentlemen." I can tell my wife I behaved, or something to that effect. He was traveling with his mistress. But I can say that he went down like a gentleman, more than likely. Amazing. Somewhere on B deck, I want to say, I could be wrong, is Miss Margaret Brown's cabin, also known as the Unsinkable Molly Brown. Another one of my favorite Mr. Ismay's valet. Ugh, Bruce Ismay. But Molly Brown, known as the Unsinkable Molly Brown, she's one of my favorite figures in history of the Titanic. She's kind of a badass, if you read about her. Did I see this one? I think I saw this one. Yeah! I won't be going through these halls unless there's signs for the door. But there are just so many amazing stories that they could have used for Cameron's movie. They could have made any one of the real people, they could have followed any one of them, made them a protagonist, any one of their stories. But instead they had to make one up. I don't know. Not to say I wouldn't do some things different when it comes to stories in Hollywood, historical dramas, but... Oh, yeah, there's Mr. Ismay's rooms. They vilify him a lot in these movies, but he did do his fair share of helping people into lifeboats before escaping himself. Say he was a coward just because he didn't want to die, but he did end up helping some people, and it's not entirely his fault, just because he was the directing manager. Should it be all of his responsibility, you think? I don't think so. Alright, let's go down to C deck. Back down to C deck, and check out what's in these ends of these rooms here. The purser's office. And you know what? I'm going to go to the purser's office real fast, and I'm going to show you guys the... Is that where it is? Yeah, it is. There is a little Easter egg here from the game, the late 90s game, Titanic Adventure Out of Time, which has another... which this game is very much... inspired by. You can, the game had a fully explorable Titanic too, as well, that you could use, and tour, but, this one is going to have a lot more detail, and authenticity to it. But yeah, here's the Easter egg. The purser is here. It's a little bit of a jump scare, but yeah, I guess he's just kind of here, not really doing anything except sitting. All right, let's tour the cabins on this deck. I'm not sure if there's the foyer again, the elevator foyer. These cabins are closed right here, but the ones that way are not. So let's head over. This is a sweet little music. It's reminiscent of the movie's score. I'm not sure if they made that intentionally, but it's lovely. You can just kind of stroll through the ship's cabins at your leisure. Kind of take everything in. Further downstairs is where things get interesting. Oh, did I step on the bucket of paint? I'm sorry. Good grief. And there's an open panel there. Probably something to do with the directions of the water. I wonder if these are everyone that survived. I wouldn't... Executive Quaker Oats. Interesting. So I wouldn't be too surprised. Doctors, nurses. Some interesting, well-known dog breeders. Oh hey, the first-class barber shop. Check that
I wonder
out.
if the barber will be on board for the run to Southampton. Lord knows I should fancy a shave after my journey here. Speaking of barbers, I'm quite glad old Harry is there to look after Claire while I'm away. They always were fond of each other, and when my son was born, Harry was particularly fond of him, never missing a birthday. See, this is the kind of friend a man really needs. His presence seems to even alleviate her hysteria condition.
Robin, my dude, I don't know if I should tell you this, but you probably don't deserve your wife. Okay. The Maiden Valet Saloon over here is neat. Wow. You gotta love 1912. You gotta love it and you gotta hate it. It's, hysteria, I guess. Okay. That's a rant for another time, perhaps. I'm on the Titanic. I am enjoying it. Oh, I found the ship's surgery room right here. And the door to second-class promenade. It looks like a small place, but they actually had a surgeon office. Just in case. They had everything, really. Look at that. Restaurant manager, chief steward. Oh, I'm in the other hallway. Second-class promenade. I guess I'll go out this way. American tennis player. Yep, some Americans are returning home from Europe. Margaret Brown was one of them. She was from Denver, actually. Oh, you can look into one of the first-class rooms. They were tiny, but of course, ship's rooms are tiny. Look at that. Look at the craftsmanship. It makes it all the more sad when you see subsequent pictures of it underwater. A ship map! But of course, I'm sure everybody got lost. Anyways. Barbershop. Did I come through here? Yeah, I came through back there somewhere. See, I'm already lost. I'm already getting lost myself. Wall Street stockbroker. Theater in New York. I think I need to go through this way. Novelist, journalist, editor. New clerk. Surgery. Okay, yeah, I did go down here. Pardon me. Now I'm trying to find out which hallway I came from down here, because I gotta go back down that way, get to the stairs. I want to say the stairs all connect in the same places, but I'm not sure. Hang on. I want to see what's up on this end. B deck. The end of B deck. Ah, yes, the Palm Room restaurant reception. Yeah, I was here. Okay. So now... yeah, I came in on the other side of the stairs. That way. The other way. I remember the guy with the chronic joint diseases doctor here. Other way. I want to see rooms that I didn't see. Countess of Ross. Ah! I found my cabin in Titanic Adventure Out of Time. Or, well, the protagonist's cabin, rather. C-73. Another shipwreck survivor, only to come on the Titanic. It's this ironic stories. See, there are so many real stories that could have been great for a movie, but they had to make up one. Fucking Leo DiCaprio could have even played somebody else, but no. Take a look in. That's a little Easter egg from the developers. No. They had to... Nah. That's my only contention with it, though. The movie is gorgeous, and you gotta respect the effort they put into it. Ah, there's Isadora and Ida Strauss's room. Corner of Macy's in America. They were the old couple in the movie who stayed in their cabin and decided to drown. In real life, they had both had spaces on the lifeboats, but Isadora didn't want to leave until everyone else left, and Ida didn't want to leave him, so they went down together. Not in their room, though. According to witnesses, they just sat on the deck chairs. Okay, there's the purser office again. I'm gonna say Margaret Brown's room was one of the ones that had that was facing a portal window. I'll know it when I see it, I'm certain. She was self-made, too. She knew what it was like to be poor. She was a good people. Let me see. Back on down to C deck. No, I was on C deck. What am I doing? Down to D deck. D deck is beautiful. And you gotta check out one of the dining rooms over here.
I especially commend them for modifying the bulkhead. I never cared much for what was on the Olympic.
The Olympic was pretty much almost similar to Titanic, if not identical in settings. Only differences were the dev team talked about it, but the only differences were the settings of these windows and the arches to the outside. First class dining saloon. It was being set for breakfast during the collision. It went down ready for passengers to eat, never knowing that they never would touch that cutlery. There are, it's so eerie. There are pictures in the, there's video of the wreck showing, can't go this way yet, showing plates still neatly stacked in the cupboards, untouched, unbroken. You're tempted to take those plates out of the ship because such pristine things should not be left to break as the ship breaks, ever so slowly. Look at that. Yeah, the dining saloon. Ah. Ooh, there's a piano over there. Hang on. There's an Easter egg there, too. Just a little picture. One of 6 pianos. Model B grand piano. Look at that. Huh. And the bottle of gin. I should count those as I go through next time. D-deck. Reception. Yeah, I saw that. That's the door I came in. So now I can go downstairs to A-deck. Grand staircase, E-deck. First class cabins on E-deck and Scotland Road. Further down are the baths. Third class dining saloon. Alternate first, second class cabins and the second class staircase, which isn't open yet. But I think Margaret Brown's room is down one of these areas. Lady Duff Gordon. A well-known room. A well-known name back then. Fashion designer, I think. I should look that up. I know I've heard of her before. Dorothy Gibson. Ah, here we go. Margaret Brown's room was a first-class cabin down on E-deck. Amazing. That's what I thought. Mail rooms, squash courts, elevators. Again. There's more to look at. Downstairs, I think. But let's go to Scotland Road. This explains why it was called that. You can hear the ship's inner workings. Should I go this way first or that way first? I'll go this way first.
This is glorious. You can near well see half the length of the ship in this corridor.
Again, even with the more industrial parts of the ship, the detail is stunning. And there's one of the crew dormitories or glory holes. Let me see. Again, this demo is free to pick up on their website. Boiler Room 5. At least the demo was. Last I checked, they seem to be doing an overhaul on their website, but it's not. Ooh, Boiler Room 6 is open, but it's not there anymore. I'm sure you can find the downloads on other site portals, but their alpha is coming up in the latter part of the year.
This open space looks like a fine spot for gathering and mingling between all parts of Europe as they make their journey across the pond to the New World. Perhaps a place on the West Coast, like Seattle.
Gotta love it. That little area there looks like a wrestling ring, but it's actually It's actually to protect a section on top of one of the storage areas of the ship, I think. I want to say I read about that. If you'll pardon the noise, my cat was trying to get her claws stuck in one of the holes in my computer tower. Pardon me. Also, listen to this. I wonder if I'm near the squash court, because it sounds like people are hitting a ball around. I wouldn't be surprised if people were testing out the sporting areas, whatnot. Ooh. But Boiler Room 6 is open. Let's sneak on down, shall we?
Oh dear, the door is open. Perhaps I'm not supposed to look in here, but I can't pass up this opportunity for a little adventure. Oh, if Claire were here now to see me being so daring.
Down into the boiler room. God, it must be hot in here.
It's quite hot here. Where are the workers, though? Well, I suppose they're likely firing up the other boiler rooms.
You can hear the coal. Steam. Look at this. Oh! Wow. You can even see the fog from the steam. You can almost feel the heat in this place. That way down? Yes. Wow. This is where the firemen...
These machines are massive. 29 on board, propelling the ship through the water like an untamed beast. I anxiously await their performance during the sea trial shortly. Finally free and not held back from anything. No Mr. Tundry in sight. Just freedom.
Yeah. He has a few things to work out, I think. But yeah, this is where the firemen would diligently stoke the boilers. Coal. Hundreds of pounds of coal. They're now littered in the debris field on the seafloor. Lots and lots of them. Anyway, that's the lowest I can go on this part of the ship, so I'll go up. I think there was another place to see upwards, so I will do that. Da-da-da-da. Going through the boiler room. It would be interesting to see, but I wouldn't want to stay for long. I don't know why I'm singing. Huh. Also, somewhere, at least in the game Titanic Adventure Out of Time, you could venture around and, like, eventually get to the engine rooms. Ugh. I would love to see the engine room. Oh, for goodness sake. Honey. That's my kitten again, getting her claws stuck in the thing. Little troublemaker. Aren't you, Gigi? Yeah. Alright. Pardon that interruption. Let's find the ladder up and out. Here we go. Let's go up and check out what's up here. Just going on up through up the ladder.
How by Edward did I get myself here? Climbing too high, I think. No, Robin, it's not your time to get your angel wings just yet. No, not just yet.
Huh, so I nearly climbed up to this vent area. I see one of the smokestacks. Gorgeous. I don't normally deem industrial parts as gorgeous, but when it comes to this much detail on an historical, however you say it, legendary. Alright, I'm back here. I was never in the boiler rooms. Don't anyone say otherwise. Am I covered in coal? Glory holes. That's right. I'm over here. Steward's lavatory. Wow. Short-looking sinks. Boiler room 4. Stairs to E deck. Wonder if you'll be able to wander around all of the steward areas too. Saloon waiters. Fire extinguisher. Fire hose. Ooh! Here we go. Another place I wanted to see. The third class dining saloon. This is where everyone in, well, most people in steerage would eat. And it's still nothing to sneeze at. Look at this. They had limited menus, but the cutlery was still arranged beautifully.
A stark contrast from the first-class accommodations, I should say, but still a major improvement from the other liners I've inspected. In all honesty, I envy these people in the lower class. The world is open to them. They move to America and build their future how they choose. They could be loggers, for example. But Father wanted me to be a surveyor, like he and his father. No logging for you, Robin. Now wash your ears.
Yeah, he has a few issues. But yeah, it's true. But third-class passengers were... You gotta understand that in most of their life they lived in poverty. They've never seen anything even as posh as this. Even if they were to be kept segregated from the other classes due to, like, concerns of disease and whatnot, they were still treated well. They were still comfortable. Look at that. I'm tempted to just grab a roll or whatever this is off the plate. Or an apple. Of course, it's not too dreary here either. They have pictures of the White Star Line ships. Olympic, maybe? I don't know what ship. Atlantic Transport Line, London, New York. This must be a smaller ship, but that's only one smokestack. It had pictures, lovely pictures, and portals, of course. See, third class, this was not bad at all. Nothing to sneeze at. Nothing at all to sneeze at. Dining saloon, F deck. I wonder where the pantry was. I think I may have passed it somewhere. But yeah, that's third class dining. Ugh. It just renders you speechless how awesome it is. And the detail. I can't wait until this whole ship becomes explorable. Or most of it, at least. I wonder if you'll still be, a ship surveyor. The same guy. And I wonder if you'll be allowed on the forecastle deck. Fun fact, actually.
On down to the food stores, crew compartments, and stern of the ship. No need to go this way.
Huh. I think I've heard him. But yeah, here's the ship, some of the chef's areas, places where the employees stayed. Again, before I was interrupted. Fun fact. Musicians. Yeah. Mr. William Hartley stay down here? He was the band leader. Again, I'm steering away from my topic. But yeah, fun fact about the bow of the ship. Those scenes in the James Cameron movie, the on top of the world scene, etc., they would not have happened because passengers were not allowed on the bow or the forecastle deck. Just the employees, not any of the passengers. So, like, I would like to imagine Fucking jacking them. Got escorted off, roughly. But anyway, now let's head to the downstairs areas. Look up. Ah, yes. There's a portal through all of the balustrades of the grand staircase, right up to the amazing glass dome. Ah. Just for the view. Just for the view. And down here is F deck, where the squash court, the what is that? Fan room. Let's start. I said farm room for a second. Turkish bath hours, cooling rooms, the plunge bath. Some more pictures, Easter eggs, storage, the little tiny door, the bath attendants.
I'd hate to be corded back here in such a cramped cubby, the walls bearing down on you like all the troubles, hopes, and deepest desires you dare not dwell upon.
Yeah, it seems a little claustrophobic in this part of the ship, doesn't it? Just a smidge. A little claustrophobic. But if you had to be quartered back here, so be it. Anyway. Cooling room. Here we go. The entrance to the Turkish bath. Look at this. Look at this. Ah.
A nice Arabian motif with cooling colors as passengers relax after their time in the baths. But what a poor state these workers left it in.
Yeah, people left their lunches strewn about, it seems. Look at that sandwich. It's got mold on the bread. Ew. Okay. I would easily pack up my lunch. I saw a video in which explorers went into the sunken Turkish bath. It's still one of the most intact rooms on the Titanic. You can still see these beds with a picture of the crew. Contribute to the work, yes. You can still see the patterns of the tiles. It's truly mesmerizing, really. Why do you keep going back there, you naughty kitten? I'm doing this and finding a kitten at the same time. Good grief. Look at that. I think I came in that one. Little cubby holes. This is where people would come in to cool after having to be in the sauna or whatever. Weight chair.
Who on earth is that lucky dog testing out the electric bath? And I believe I see a sliver of the plunge bath as well.
I looked up what an electric bath did. I think that was... the Titanic's was one of the only ones that they ever made.
Hello, Editor Sarui here. I was actually babbling a little bit at this part. There were more electric baths made, except today they're more like tanning beds. They were early tanning beds, and there were several models made. This one here was the model actually on the Titanic. It looks like a torture device, doesn't it? Okay, back to the video.
But the premise seemed rather dangerous to me. Look it up. It's weird. But of course they had a little tiny swimming pool or plunge bath area. Nothing like the swimming pools that cruise ships carry today, but at the time, I'm sure people loved to have a little dip. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Grand staircase, F deck. part of the grand staircase did actually go down to F deck, but for the most part, it just ran from A deck to E deck. Look at that. What gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. And a part of the staircase that goes to the cabins, I think, only ends at D deck or C deck. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this tour, actually. I just wanted to show you guys the innards of the ship and what's on it to explore right now. Just these areas, but they were still gorgeous. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! I know where I haven't gone yet. Where am I? Is D-deck reception. I haven't gone to Cafe Parisien. Where the... Ah, I knew I was missing someplace. Hang on. Up. C deck? No, it ends at C deck. What am I doing? I have to go through this way. And down the stairs, I think. Let me see. Yeah. We've seen these cabins already. I'm blowing past the names. In fact, I'll turn off the info boxes now that we can just have a free roam run down the cabins. I hope that no one's home yet, hearing my footsteps. More than likely they're not. This is still in Belfast. The ship hasn't gone yet to Queenstown, where she first set sail. Barbershop. Yeah, right. I can't go down from C deck. I can go up to B deck. I can see you trying to conspire to get over there, you little nutter, and you can't. Cats. Ah, here we are, the restaurants. Look at this lovely clock on B deck. Look at that. That is picture-worthy right there. Wait a minute. Not I. T. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. It's a little too dark, though. I like to prefer it in color right now. Just to show you guys that. Anyway, here we are, the restaurants. Cafe Parisien. This is where I saw the plates, but oh, here. Cafe Parisien. You can just hear and feel the wind coming through here.
It really does remind you of Paris, though excepting the smell of overflown sewage. Wonderful memories are coming back to me of that city.
Look at this. Look at this. Ugh. And these were fake vines too, artificial. Later on there will be collectibles. You can pick up the Easter eggs and stuff like that. Second class promenade. You can probably smell the ocean in here. The wood. The wicker. God. And this is one of the first class restaurants. And a coat rack. I think this place wasn't even included in the price for a first-class ticket. The menu for English and American breakfast. On April 12th, no less. Look at that. That's what she's saying. Look at this. Look at the place settings. God, I don't think I would want to be a busser here. Haha. Look at the logbook. Table for two.
Odd that this room would have its tables already set. Mr. Gotti hasn't even boarded yet. Oh well, top marks for presentation.
Probably wanted to impress the restaurant manager. Make sure that everyone was tip-top, spick and span. Even a setting for one. Look at that. The a la carte restaurant. Yeah. Added fee. Pantry. I think this is one of the places where the plates are still stacked all nice and lovely and neat. Again, the detail. Even the carpet. I can't. I'm just slack-jawed. I think you can see some of these plates in some of the museums where they have gathered artifacts. A lovely calm sea. I don't know how much of that is accurate out there to the time, but at least for the ship, I would say they are doing her memory proud. I would love to find a photo of the restaurant to compare this to. Just a look back into history. Anywho, I do believe that is all the things to show you. I pretty well explored everywhere here. B-deck cabins amidships. There may have been a part of the other side of the stairwell, but it's mostly cabins and the stairwell down to the baths, boiler room, some offshoots, barbershop. So let me just go back up to the reception area. This is on B deck. Reception's seat. Boom. Just having a run. Don't mind me. Don't wake up. Don't sick the dogs on me. And there were dogs on the Titanic. Sadly, only a couple of the big breed dogs survived. A few. One woman's body was recovered hugging her Great Dane. I think that was the dog groomer. It's so sad. It really is. Anyway. Purser's office. And down to D-Deck. But really, if this is what you saw coming into the ship for the first time, you wouldn't... your jaw would be on the floor. Really. My jaw would be on the floor. At least now it would be. Now that I'm old enough to appreciate these things. I don't think I saw this. I don't think I let you guys see this one. Yeah, these doors were ordered open for lifeboats, but no lifeboats ever rode to them. The ship could have probably lasted 3 hours instead of 2 hours and 40 minutes if those had been closed. But of course, you never know. There could have been people to save. But the officers on the lifeboats were afraid of getting turned over, which is a legit fear, but still. They could have tried. The movie had it slightly wrong. 2 lifeboats went back for passengers after the ship fully sank, and I think they recovered a good few people out of the water. But yes, so that was the Titanic Honor and Glory demo. A nice little tour of the part of the ship that's open. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope, just like you, to play the alpha version of the full game when it finally comes out. Kudos to the hard work that the game developers are putting into this. It's an absolute amazing and almost Herculean effort to put together something like this. So kudos to them, and good luck with the rest of the project. Hope to see what comes of it. And yeah, just a little something I wanted to do for you guys because I haven't done videos in a while. But I hope to maybe do some random ones later. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want. And I'll be seeing you. Take care later. Have a good one. Bye-bye. GG! God's sake.